You know, one of the exciting things is we've started our third training academy this week, and we have them scheduled all the way out through December. We're anticipating continuing to be able to hire people, but more importantly, what we're anticipating is retaining people. And the retention is where you get your big bang for the buck. You know, you invest in the people up front, you give them the training, you give them the tools they need to do their jobs, and then we try to keep them. So very excited about that. Another thing that we're really excited about is that we have officially started seeing a lot of policies and procedures come back from OJA approved. So we've implemented a lot of those, and one of the more exciting ones is our token policy. And if I could just show you a couple of things. We've got little handheld Game Boys, we've got radios, and of course the massive charging ports for all of those that our residents are able to, based on behavior, accumulate tokens. Sometimes you think some of the most rudimentary things in our life seem to be difficult for people that don't have a lot of structure in their life, so we're trying to put a little structure. For example, if you take your showers and address your hygiene, then we give you tokens. That helps with a lot of things. If you get along with others, we reward you. If you go to school, and not only just go to school, but participate in school, then we give you tokens. And so it's basically a way to modify behavior based on reward. So we're really, really excited about that. We also started our admissions area. We've hired 4 staff at no additional cost to the taxpayers. We converted positions that we were having difficulty filling and turned them into admission specialists. And what the admission specialists do is they, once the resident is brought in to the detention area, we sit them down and spend about 4 hours with them going over rights and responsibilities, and provide them with an orientation and that orientation handbook that they can take with them. Then within a week, I follow up with them personally as the manager and sit down and have the same discussions and make sure they understood everything, or if there's anything in question, I can go ahead and address it at that time. And then just decompress for a little bit, because usually the reason that they brought them in here probably wasn't the most conducive of you know, people's mental health. So we want to make sure that they're set and ready to go when we bring them into detention. But instead of just sending them in a room, our admission specialists do a soft handoff to the people that are working in the housing units, to an introduction, and so there's not a lot of shock and awe. It's more of, you know, this is where you're going to be, you know, we're going to work through this. It's going to give you an opportunity to relax in here and until you can go to court. But one of the great things is the responsibilities and rights that we tell them right up front, the do's, the don'ts. If this happens, we want to know about it. We also addressed PREA at that time. And PREA, for those that don't know it, is the Prison Rape Elimination Act. We want to make 100% sure that every child knows that if not only a resident, but an employee or a visitor or a contractor makes inappropriate suggestions, then what they do, how they report it, and how we would investigate it at that point in time. So we're really excited about the admission specialists coming on board. They're doing a great job. They're dealing with everything from the visiting logs to the phone call logs. So it's a very good educational tool for the residents. It seems to have calmed down the grievances. I'd have to go back and do the figures, but you know, when we took over with the commissioners coming in, grievances were just very, very high. We've reduced those last time we checked almost by 70+%. That continues to remain. Without me having the exact numbers, I can tell you we have very few grievances anymore. One of the things that we're really, really excited and proud of is the addition of the recreational specialist. We've always had a gym, but I don't know that it's always been fully used. So again, we converted a couple of positions that we had that were very difficult to fill and hired 2 recreational supervisors. Well, I shouldn't say hired. We have 1 on board and we're trying to hire another one now. And those positions, all they do is recreation. That is their function. And what I mean by recreation is not here's a basketball, go play. It's organized. We do everything from volleyball to flag football to basketball to fun days to where they set up games and you'll go from station to station on the games, and then there'll be some rewards and prizes at the end. That has just been phenomenal because we have, again, modifying behavior with that. If you don't act right, you don't go to the gym. And so we've seen marketable success in the addition of the recreational supervisors in that program. Yeah, we're really, really pleased with our last OPI audit. We went through and after all of the things that have happened since prior to the commissioners taking over, and since the commissioners taken over, this report here I think reflects some of the dedication that the county commissioners has put into seeing this juvenile home succeed. With everything that had been found in the past, we had one finding this time, and it's really not a finding, it's an area of note of improvement, and it was into section 4 on the grievances, and what we were found in needing improvement on is that we were not using a wet signature, which means live ink. So we have now corrected that. We were doing the grievances, but some of them would be electronic. So we went to now wet signature on all of them as requested. The license is still probationary, which is understandable. There's litigation going on still. It involves a lot of agencies, and quite frankly, that if I had my ruthers, I'd like to try to keep that license maybe probationary for another go around, because it gives us time to be able to address those policies and procedures that really hadn't been addressed in 10, 12 years in some cases. And so it gives us time not to staff or have our beds totally opened up, which is 62. We're keeping it at 34 right now, which is manageable. That gives us time to hire people and implement those academies and get people trained. And that was the purpose of the probationary license, to give us time once the commissioners took over to address those things. And I think we're well on our way to getting those done. And so we have another audit coming up in March. Again, we're always hopeful. But again, I think that the probationary status has given us time to do the things that we need to do to get this place to be a showcase in the state of Oklahoma and nationally. So we have a lot of other things going on that's going to make this place a lot better for the future.